we were primarily seeing dark gray or black cubes inside of a clear sphere.
We have nothing that can stop in midair and go the other direction.
Have you had incidences that have caused you to be in fear for your life for addressing these issues?
Yes, personally.
Astonishing congressional testimony last week from retired military pilots. They say the government is hiding evidence of UFOs. It's an age-old question. Are we alone in the universe? And if not, is the government hiding the truth? For more on this, we are joined by investigative journalist and co-host of the Weaponized podcast, Jeremy Corbell. Jeremy, we saw you seated right behind that former pilot giving testimony. You were there in Washington, D.C. Thanks for being with us tonight. I know this is the first time you've granted an interview since that hearing last week. What's the biggest takeaway from the hearing?
Right. We need to get to ground zero on this UFO, UAP topic. And this is the first interview because you guys have been on this story before most people. You knew this was news when other people didn't. So the biggest takeaway for me, because I helped set this up, is that it was bipartisan. We had AOC on one side. We had Representative Tim Burchett on the other side. It was astonishing. For the first time in history, you have witnesses, firsthand, direct witnesses to the UAP or UFO mystery under oath. They could serve jail time if they were lying. We made sure they were sworn in. They were allowed to testify, not allowed to be in a skiff to tell what they really knew, but that's okay. The truth is coming out. So what we achieved is we are empowering and emboldening those who are on the edge, who want to come forward about the truth about UFOs, what they represent to humanity. It's not a question anymore. UFOs are real. There's a physical component. These machines, you had two fighter pilots, Top Gun fighter pilots, right there telling you they're concerned. And then you had an intelligence individual who is breaking from the fold, and he is telling you that we've had reverse engineering of alien spacecraft, craft of unknown origin. If his claims are true, this is an ontological shock for the American public and global public.
Well, as it relates to your testimony, now part of the congressional record, what's the most important finding you want the American public to know?
Yeah, this is a big story. It's a news story. This is a story of some truth being hidden from the American public, and maybe for good reason at the time it began. But no longer will this stand. I mean, this is like now coming out. So the question is, how can we resolve this consensus reality right now with actual reality? What people should take away from this is very simple. You have decorated military individuals telling you that they either engaged a UFO or they've been part of understanding of the cover-up, and they want to tell you the truth. We should hear from them. This information should be processed, and we don't have just a right to know. We have a need to know if this is true.
What is next?
What is next is the great question. That's the trillion-dollar question. I can tell you for certain that there are other people that will be coming forward because people have come to me and I have passed that on. So I know people with direct firsthand knowledge of working on reverse engineering programs of these non-terrestrial technologies that the New York Times said not made here on Earth. They're going to testify through the Inspector General of the intelligence community. It's going to happen.
Look, you started off this interview, giving us credit for, bringing you on earlier, probably years ago at this point. Mm-hmm. How does it feel to come this far and to actually see Congress taking up this issue?
It's like the movie Don't Look Up, and all of a sudden everybody can see it. The writing's on the wall. There's a true mystery, a puzzle here, but a puzzle can be solved. So whatever it is that UAP or UFOs represent to humanity, we are just millimeters away from being able to comprehend that we might be part of a larger fabric of reality, a larger existence, something that we can all bond around. So for me, that's the most great feeling, is that we're actually now looking at the facts.
All right. Well, with that said, we'd like to bond more with you and have you in studio one of these days. So let's figure that out for your next appearance here at 6 o'clock. Jeremy Corbell, investigative journalist and co-host of the Weaponized podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And anything for you, too. You've been on this a long time. Thank you for covering this.